What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Devon Terrell, the living weirdo. And today, what I'm going to be showing you is a series of videos of how I take a song from mix to master. So literally, I'm going to take you through the process of an entire mix and through the process of an entire master. So just get into this. Make sure you have headphones on. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, leave comments, and let's get right to it. Okay, so in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you in this first one is how I like to start my mix. So let me get you familiar with the song first. This song is called Switching Sides, which is more of a hip hop bass song. You'll get the gist of it. And this will be out August 10th. Maybe you're seeing it after it's already out. And yeah, I'll let you get a listen for it. Make sure you're listening to headphones or speakers, and let's get an idea of what this song is.
It's too early in the morning to be asking me these questions. I'm just trying to get back to the money. I don't want nobody but you because I'm way too invested. Please don't be alarmed, just buy a text. Yeah, she a friend, not a hope. Why you going through my phone? Baby, she already know that I'm all you. Why we gotta argue like Katie and LeBron do? I want to ignore you, but I don't want this on your conscience. Cause I know that you'll probably want revenge. Locking doors and then you never let me in. Why do I get all this smoke for having friends? Just don't let no other man get it in with you. Cause I don't want you out here switching sides. If she catch me slipping, I would die.
Cool. So that is that song. So this song is called Switching Sides, and basically that is my final mix that I'm letting you hear. Now, on top of that being my final mix that I'm letting you hear, let's go on over to my edit window. The very first thing that I do when I'm mixing a song is I try to find a song that has similarities to my song sonically. So this is called reference mixing. So basically I'm looking for a commercial song, something that is popular, and I'm taking that record and I'm constantly referring back to that record as I'm mixing to see how those vocals sit, to see where that kick is, to see how the instruments rock. And you do this with songs that you like, that you adore, that you've heard other places, because that gives you an idea of how your song is gonna sound. So this is, to me, the most important part of mixing, because instead of you mixing blind, you have a guide. So that's the first thing I like to do. And the song that sonically felt right to me that I searched and searched for was a song off of a Drake album called, Drake's last album called Blue Tint. And I'll let you hear that song and my song and let you see how I compare it and get my mix to get to that point in its spot. So listen closely.
Look who I'm fucking again. I had on ice, but then I watched the ice get thin. Now that she sink or swim, she had a...
Cool. Now listen to my song sonically.
Early in the morning to be asking me these questions. I'm just trying to get back to the money. I don't want nobody but you because I'm way too invested. Please don't be...
Very similar sounding records, and this is what makes a great mix, is because you have something to go off of. There's something to guide you, something to let you know that this is what these $1 million studios and mix engineers and mastering engineers have done on this record. So you have a guide as to how to sonically mix like that and get yours to sound similar. Okay, so obviously that's just my mix. So there's still work to be done in the master to really get it to tight as that, but you try to get it as tight as possible or as close as possible in the mix to that sound right there. So always pick the song that sounds like yours so you can mix it correctly in reference. All right, so if you look over here, you'll notice on my master bus, which a master bus is, all the signals are feeding this particular fader. That's my master bus. So all the signals are feeding this 2-track right here, ST master. That's my stereo master. I like to mix with a limiter on my master bus. And to some people, I know that may be a little confusing because you say, hey, the limiter is for mastering. Hold on. The reason why I like to mix with the limiter on my mix bus is because I want to hear what that limiter is going to do when I take it to the mastering phase. So basically, the limiter is going to affect my mix greatly, and I want to know what it's going to do to it potentially. So instead of waiting in the mastering phase to fix it, I rather just prepare for it beforehand. So when I'm mixing, I have the limiter limiter on, and it's letting me know exactly what is going to happen for the most part. So that's why I like to mix with my limiter on. That's a big trick that I've learned, and I like to do that a lot. Cool. Next thing I'll show you is my effects. So next thing I like to do is I like to set up my effects. Basically in this video, in this particular one, I'm just showing you how to start the mix. So I have my effects. They're always set up the same way. I have my LXP plate for a short verb. I have my LXP hall for my long verbs, bigger reverbs. Then I'm using H delays on different time signatures, which is a half note, a fourth note, and an eighth note. And I'll show you why I do that as well. And I also like to put a stereo widener on all my delays. This is a very dope technique that I've learned, and it takes your delays and it makes them huge and it pushes them out towards the speaker. So I feel like these delays are like bouncing all around. Really dope technique. You should try it. And I also have a doubler as well, and I'll explain that to you later. But those are my basic setup. That's my basic setup for my effects that I like to have on my thing. And next thing I'll show you is right up above here. You'll notice at the top of all my channels, I have something called the NLS channel. Now, what this NLS channel does is it's modeled off of old SSL boards, knee boards, and an EMI board, specific boards. And these three settings that you see right here, spike, mic, and Nevo, is basically, in a nutshell, SSL, spike, EMI, mic, Nevo, Neve. And they're modeled off of these boards, these $1 million boards that have this analog sound. And basically the analog sound is known for being punchier, warmer. It just has a really nice sound. And to me, it knocks off a little bit of that digital edge that sometimes can be a little bit jarring to the ear. So I have this across all my channels, and it gives me the sound of a board, of $1 million board, so to speak, in the box, which is known as my computer. And that's very important to me, and that's one of the main things that I do. Next thing I will show you, and last, is what I like to attack first is I like to attack my vocals and my drums. Reason why I like to attack my vocals and my drums, and specifically vocal, kick, snare, is because the vocal, the kick, and the snare are going to be my tells as far as knowing where everything else will sit. So once I get my kick, my snare, my vocal sitting in the right pocket, everything else goes up around that. That's the hi-hats will go up around that. My instruments will go up around that. My pads, everything will surround that kick, that vocal, and that snare, because that's the most important thing to me when it comes to this song. So that's how I like to start my mix. So in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I do the vocals, the drums, then I'll move over to instruments, and then we'll just go from there. So hit the like button, subscribe, head on over to the next video. I'm gonna show you how to attack these vocals, and then we'll go from there. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video. Hurry up.